Hi, we're going to go over how to do the Spearman rank correlation test. So remember, this test is going to test whether or not these variables, when they're ranked, like best to least, have a linear correlation as they are ranked. So not the original values, but the ranked values. Do the ranked values have a linear correlation? Since we're using linear correlation on the ranked values, the math will be very similar to the math we did when we did linear correlation or regression. So if you look at the question help, there's this crazy equation. This equation only works if when you rank them, you have integer values. So in other words, when you don't have ties. We don't usually make it through real life without having ties. So this equation doesn't usually work. Instead, what we're going to use is the Corel equation that comes with Excel. First thing we have to do for a Spearman rank correlation test is rank everything. So we're going to rank average. That way we can deal with any ties. I can see I have a tie right here. I have 2 7s. So I need to deal with that tie somehow. This is going to average the result for 7. So you type in rank.average. You click on the first number you want, comma, and then you click on all the numbers that you're going to rank it out of. So I'm going to click and drag. While these are still highlighted on my keyboard at the very top, I'm going to hit the F4 button. It's got a little tiny F4. It's going to automatically add all those dollar signs for me. If you can't find your function 4 button or you can't get that to work, you can always just manually type in dollar signs there. Then I'm going to hit the enter key. That has been ranked out of these, and I'm going to drag it down. And I can see that I have a tie for 7, and that's represented by this averaging of the place that 7 would have. So I do 1, there's no 2, and there's no 3 because I have a tie. So I have the average of those two numbers, and then 4 and 5. So now I'm going to do rank average for the other variable. Click on the first one, comma, highlight them all. And while they're still highlighted, I'll hit F4, or I can manually type in these dollar signs and then hit the enter key. I'm going to drag that down, and now I have my ranking. Then I just need to use the Corel function that I've used previously and highlight the first variable's ranking and highlight the second variable's ranking. This gives me this value, and you can see that my MATLAB has forgotten to ask me to round appropriately. So it's 3 decimals, 975. Excellent. Now we have to figure out which one of these is correct. Remember, we're always testing the null hypothesis, which says that there is no relationship between them. The alternative would be that there is some relationship between them. I need to look at my Spearman rank correlation coefficient table of values. In our problem, it told us to use an alpha of 0.1. And it also told us to test to see if there's any association between the two variables. So since I'm not looking specifically for positive or negative association, I'm just looking for any association, I want to do a two-tailed test. So I'll do alpha 2 for 2 tails, and then the value of alpha is 0.10. I have 5 pairs of data, so right here, in the 5th row right here, I have my critical value, which is 0.9. My value is larger than 0.9, so I would fall into the rejection region. So it's one of these two, reject or reject. One of these two, reject or reject. So I'm going to reject and say there is sufficient evidence to conclude that X and Y are associated, because the null hypothesis will always be that there is no association. So if I rejected the null hypothesis, there must be some association. All right, I hope that helps with the homework. I'll see you soon.